Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside Ed Cavalier Stadium here at East High School. It's opening weekend of Section 5 football. My name is Matt Stathopoulos. I'm joined here by George Radney, who will be my color commentator this evening. And we've got a great one in store for opening weekend. Wouldn't you say, George?
Oh, it's awesome. You can smell it. It's in the air. It's football. The temperatures are dropping. Hey, it's football season. It's time for that pigskin to get thrown around and tossed around, kicked around, the whole 9 yards. It's an exciting weekend. Most teams in Section 5 are starting between Thursday and tomorrow. Got a lot of good games on hand, and we got a good one right in front of us with Churchville-Chili here at East High School at Ed Cavalier Stadium. Looking forward to it.
You got it, George. And as you mentioned, the weather, yes, it is dropping, but it's still pretty good. I'd say this is perfect football weather, if you ask me. A little bit of crispness to it. And, obviously the rain's staying away, so that won't be a factor or anything, which is good to see. But, yeah, definitely looking forward to it. And, George, from your experience, with high school football and whatnot in the past, what can you tell us about Churchville-Chili and East High heading into this new season?
Well, Churchville-Chili is a younger team. Is a senior team. They have more junior seniors. And I could tell they've stayed on the field a lot longer, running their plays and working to get sharp on the execution, because it's a high wind gust going from left to right. They were passing. They were working on their running game. They were working on their fade, pass patterns. I think Churchville-Chili is going to come out with a passing game tonight. Just judging by how they warmed up. East looked pretty interesting too. They look like might be a running team tonight. They might run that ball a lot. So it could be a contrast of different styles of play tonight.
All right, yeah. Well, obviously it's a clean slate for everybody. The opportunity to get off on that right foot, because it's a new start and teams are going to want to be setting the tone early as they look forward, down to the rest of the season and whatnot. But I guess going forward, we've got the kickoff coming up next. We'll take a short break now, but don't go away, because opening weekend of Section 5 football with East High and Churchville-Chili is coming up next. Welcome back inside Ed Cavalier Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, if you missed our intro, my name is Matt Stathopoulos, and I'm joined here by George Radney as we're getting set for East High and Churchville-Chili as the Section 5, 2017 Section 5 season, football season, I should say, is just about underway. I know for these two teams, that is. I know other teams have been in action over these past couple of days, so it's a clean slate for these two, as we mentioned, and got a great day to play some football.
Yeah, and I think Jaron Ingram, the senior quarterback for Churchville-Chili, has a lot to prove this season. I think he wants to get his team off to a quick start. And I think you keep an eye on Chauncey Chili at wide receiver, Eric Lewis on the outside, Corey Powell, another senior. So they're a senior-laden team, and I think you're going to see if these seniors can dominate early, to take charge early in this game, being on the road.
You got it, George. And for those guys, ultimately it's their last chance to make an impact and go out on a good note. So you're exactly right. They're definitely going to want to prove themselves. Now, who do you see from the east side?
I see Jalen Holmes, wide receiver. See what he can do tonight. Should be an interesting game with him out there, as well as Chris Washington, quarterback Anthony Gilbert. Should be, and also DeFonte James Simmons. You got to work on James Simmons if he's at quarterback today as well. How they're going to play that? So
right,
it should be a good contest.
Definitely. As you see both teams being introduced here at Ed Cavalier Stadium, the stands have filled up pretty well here. I know it was kind of a gradual fill-in, but good to see a good turnout, and hopefully they'll be making some noise and adding to the atmosphere. It's always good to see. That's one of the beauties of Section 5 football, just the following that it gets, and you can really tell how much people care and pay attention to it all throughout the season.
Oh, it's big. Section 5 is really huge with not only football but the basketball. They do a fine job with all the sports, and that's why they're always well represented during the sectionals and also in the states throughout the season as well.
That's right, George. Well, we've got a minute here. Might as well recognize both teams' coaches. For Churchville-Chili will be Troy Jeffers, and for East High will be Mike Militello, as those guys picking up right where they left off from training camp, which has been going for the last couple of months.
Well, weeks.
Weeks, I shouldn't say months.
They only can start in August. Yeah. Don't get anybody in trouble here. But no, they start end of July, early August.
Right. And now we will await the presentation of the national anthem. Very nice rendition of the national anthem.
Jalen Wilson, a student here at East High School. Excellent job by Jalen Wilson on that on the national anthem.
Great job indeed. It's great to see the students getting involved, even for little things like that, George. Whether it's expressing your talent, singing the national anthem. We've got a lot of students volunteering, running our cameras today. So
yes,
it's always a good thing to see.
And also kids out there. Give a call. Talk to Todd Hall at down at City School District, or ask some of your teachers to get in contact if you have an interest in being a camera person or on-air personality or something involved in the television world. You can be a part of the broadcast. You can be a part of one of our future broadcasters, or if there's other aspects, always ask us. You never know.
For sure. Definitely a good way to get your foot in the door indeed, as now we take a look at midfield here as the team captains have made their way out to midfield for the coin toss, and we will await the results.
Yeah, it should be referees talking to both teams. Look like Churchville-Chili has a height advantage of bigger. They look a little bit bigger in the roster. Looking at the roster, they look bigger. You eyeball them, they look like a little bigger squad. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, George. We were talking about that in our opening, and it does beg the question for how much of a factor that might be in tonight's game. I mean, obviously on paper you'd think that it automatically does give you an advantage, but there are other factors to consider as well.
Absolutely. And this could be a speed game too. East could look to go with speed. It could look like they go with speed. It could be a speed game tonight too.
Definitely.
East might try to run to the outside, or instead of in between the tackles, take it to the outside possibly.
So yes, the Churchville-Chili Saints win the coin toss. They have elected to kick to start things off, which means obviously the Eagles will get the ball.
Sending them into that wind gust. Yeah, they were checking that wind out. So I guess they feel their defenses can come out and make some plays, and they maybe that leads to what I was talking about in the pregame show, that Churchville-Chili wants to throw the ball.
Yeah,
so they'll go against the wind.
Of course. And would you say, George, and this isn't limited to just high school football, but are you in favor of electing to kick the ball first, solely so you can get the ball in the second half starting off? Do you think that is like a better strategy, or?
To me, it just depends on your team, what type of team you have, the confidence you have in your team, or if the other team, your opponent's struggling offensively, maybe you want to give them the ball right away to try to continue to pounce on them and hope to continue that they struggle.
Right.
I think it just depends on your opponent and the weather conditions too.
Right. Well, here we go. Tyler Pasamonte for the Churchville-Chili Saints sets the ball up on the tee as we get set for the kickoff, as we are just moments away from the beginning of the Section 5 high school football season of 2017, as Both of these East High Eagles and Churchville-Chili Saints will be looking to get off on the right foot as Pasamande gives the signal. And we are underway. Off the hands of Jalen Holmes of East High. He looks to break away, but he's taken down inside the 15-yard line. That's exactly what the Saints wanted to get started here.
Yeah, see, they want to get out here and get a good play. They got a good defensive, good special teams play.
That's right. So the Eagles will now have to operate with bad field position to start off, but of course now the only thing that goes from here is what they do next, and we'll see what kinds of plays they run and what they can generate here moving forward.
Yeah, Jadavon James Simmons is the starting quarterback. See what Jadavon's going to do here.
Right.
Spread formation.
1st and 10 from the 15. James Simmons lines up from the shotgun, gets the snap, and hands it off to Deljon Johnson.
He's taken down for a loss. That was a Churchville-Chili is in a 4-3 defense, 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, and the linebacker just shot the gap and bam, was right in the backfield to make the tackle.
That's right. We haven't had the update yet. It looks like a gain of, or no, sorry, it's a loss of 5. You were right, George. Yeah, loss of 5 yards.
He was in the backfield waiting on it.
Yeah. James Simmons will line up once again from the shotgun. He gets the snap, goes once again up the middle. I couldn't catch the number on who that was, but it looked like he may have gained a yard or two, but not a whole lot, and it doesn't really help them out in this situation as we move to 3rd down, 3rd and 15.
And those gold numbers on that purple background is not helpful for anybody in the press box trying to figure out who,
right,
what number, who's who on that east side there. Yeah, he was stopped for virtually, really, it looked like no gain.
That's what they're saying on the scoreboard as they've marked it down at the 10-yard line. Once again, 3rd and 15. James Simmons, once again from the shotgun. He steps back to pass. Looks downfield. He's got a man, but it hits the ground. Yeah, underthrew it. It was intended for Malik McCray, but that'll bring up 4th down.
He was open. He had him there, but, boy, he just didn't put enough mustard on that ball, on that pass.
That's right, as now the punting unit will come on for the Eagles. As we're
3 and out.
Yeah, quick 3 and out to start the game. Definitely what Churchville-Chili wanted. It started from the kickoff of not allowing any rushing yards right off the bat. So just what the doctor ordered for the Churchville-Chili Saints. As we're down to 10:22 to go here in this first quarter. Obviously no score as that was the first possession for either team. But on to punt for...
that wind took it there.
And it's punted up by Andre Jenkins. It gets to about the 40 where it's fielded by Corey Powell, who's going down the sideline and out of bounds just ahead of the 20-yard line. May have gone out at the 23, but that'll be good field position for the Saints.
Yeah, and you saw how that wind is. It just took it from the snap. The ball just kind of fluttered back to the punter. He had to adjust to it, get a hold of it. And that was an excellent kick that he made under the circumstances.
That's right, George. You definitely did your homework coming into this because you had mentioned that as well in the pregame, the wind being a factor. And, in the first couple of plays, we've already seen it as now the Saints will line up.
I think they're going to be passing. I think they want to pass the ball.
Right. Jaron Ingram loses the ball on the snap. Now he rushes it himself. He may have got back for about a yard, but he was eventually wrestled down and didn't gain much off of that bad snap.
Yeah. No, not at all. He didn't gain much. This was a poor snap, and he made the adjustment and was able to pick up didn't pick up any yards, but he didn't fumble. He didn't turn it over.
They're actually going to rule it a loss of 1 as now the ball's on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 11.
Watch for Corey Powell. I have a feeling he's going to be looking over here to the close side of the line to number 13.
Ingram gets the snap, hands it off to Sage Smith there for a little bit of a gain, not too far though.
Good defense by number 79 and 78 there for East High. They both were in on the tackle.
Yeah, that's Bobby Seawright stepping up on that play right there to take Smith down, as this will bring up 3rd and 9 for the Saints. Trying to avoid going 3 and out like their counterpart East High did not too long ago. As it looks like Ingram will set up from the shotgun once again. Ingram takes a look, cross field, he completes the pass to Sage Smith, but Smith took a big hit from the East defense.
Ooh, my goodness, that was, ladies and gentlemen, a textbook hit. He had his shoulders upright. Once he caught it, bam! He really lowered the boom on him with his shoulder pads. It was nothing wrong about that hit. That was just how you. And unfortunately, the receiver was looking for the ball. He tipped the ball with one hand, and then when he gained possession, bam! He caught him while he was off balance. So he's gonna get a little attention there.
Right.
Sage Smith.
Sage Smith, yeah. Like you said, George, it's obviously you don't want anybody getting hurt, but if you're East High on defense, you got to do your job, and your job is to take the guy down.
And you can't take hitting out the game, even though you hear him even on the NFL games. It's hard. That's what football is. It's a game that people, when you get hit.
Right.
He's up. He's looking okay. He just got got shook it up. I hate to say he got his bell rung there, but he probably did ring a little bit there on that play. Probably gonna go over and they give some type of protocol on him to see if he's okay and able to come back later in the game. Right now he's not. Yeah, he's taking his time coming off the field.
Good to see him walking on his own power though off the field.
Yes.
So 4th and 9 here for the Saints, and it looks like they're going to go for it as Jaron Ingram lining up. Steps back in the pocket. Ingram looking downfield. He's got a man and another underthrow, as that was intended for Dennis Sweats, and that will turn the ball over and East will take over.
Yeah, that was another poorly thrown pass. They look like both quarterbacks might have early season jitters right now, and once they get used to the pressure coming at them, because in that case he had more time, but he just released it a little early.
Right, and nothing wrong with that. You mentioned the first game jitters and in this case the first possession jitters. So that stuff's all natural, but we'll see how they might improve gradually as the game goes on, as the Eagles will now take over on the 24-yard line. I guess if you're Churchville-Chili, one positive out of that is at least you didn't give up good field position to the Eagles.
No, and that's why they chose to they wanted to go into the wind. They forced the East to go into the wind. As you can see, the wind is continuing to blow, looking at those flags on the goalpost.
That's right, as Jatavion James Simmons lines up 1st and 10 on the 24 for East. Their own 24, I should say, as we've got a flag on the play now, or maybe some movement.
Delay a game, I think that he's signaling. Delay a game.
Yep, good catch, George. That'll be a delay of game call on East. It will be a loss of 5, so it'll replay it 1st and 15 now.
That's another first game jitters. You got to get out here. You got to call the play and run the play. They came right out of a timeout.
James Simmons has a man in motion. He hands it off to him. Looking to break free. A nice move there by Freddie Brock, but I'm not sure if he came up with anything. He had a nice little juke, but George, it's almost like he took himself out of the play by doing that.
Yeah, well, no, he would have been tackled if he had to make that juke, because that defender was right on him. They're not allowing them. Number 13, Corey Powell, and number 7, Ryan Rupp. They're not allowing the East blocking to turn that corner. They didn't allow it at all, and he ended up losing. Wow, he lost more than 5-7 yards on that play.
Yeah, definitely. As now that'll bring up 2nd down. And as we are just inside 8 minutes here in this first quarter, still no score. We're still looking for our first completed pass and our first rush of about,
How about first down?
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, let's get a first down first.
James Simmons with another handoff, a rush up the middle for a gain of about a yard. But once again, the Saints doing a great job blocking, putting that wall up and not allowing much room for East to work with.
No, not at all. They're a stout defensive line. Those guys are kind of big. The Churchville-Chili, he's 210 pounds, 6 foot. He's playing almost like a nose guard. You got number 79 right next to him. He's a big guy. Will Zimmerman, he's 290. Wow. He almost 300 pounds.
3rd and 13 from the 18-yard line. James Simmons takes the snap. He steps back. He looks down the sideline. He's got Jalen Holmes making the catch and a gain, but they're going to be short of the first down, so the punting unit will come on for East.
And hope that pass is now take away some of the jitters. He got a completed pass now. They had a couple of running plays there, so hopefully that can get the East offense a little bit going. But now they're going to have to punt the ball back to Churchville-Chili.
Yeah, sometimes that's all it takes, especially for a guy like James Simmons. Maybe once he completes one, then his confidence is back and he's ready to go. But
Andre Jenkins get ready to punt.
Jenkins gets the snap. Pretty good. It's beyond the 50-yard line, fielded there by the Saints. That's Andrew Curtin gaining about 5 yards after receiving that.
He ran into his own man coming back trying to block for him, actually knocked him down, actually. So that was an unfortunate block there by his teammate.
So the Saints will take over at the 50-yard line. We're down to 6:53 remaining in the opening quarter. Still no score, still no first downs. We do have our first completed pass, though.
That's right, we do. Thank goodness for that.
Back onto the field comes Jaron Ingram for the Saints.
Oh, we got look like East might have jumped. I think they're gonna call offsides on East because it caused the offensive to jump as well.
Yeah, we get the official signal from the referee. It's offsides on East High, so it'll move to replay first down. It'll be 1st and 5 for the Saints. As Ingram steps up to the line and looks to move it along now. From the 45-yard line, a handoff there to Jared Mewborn, and he is tackled for a loss, and a big loss at that.
Yeah, East is coming hard too on their defensive line. They're shooting the gaps. They're bringing extra people, and that's what you got to do. Sometimes when you're undersized, you bring some extra guys, you bring some linebackers. They shot the gap and sent them for like a 4-yard loss on the play.
Right, yeah, I was just about to say it looks about a 4-yard loss, and as evidenced by it being now 2nd and 9 for the Saints from the 49-yard line.
That was by James Simmons, the quarterback. Actually, he's playing linebacker on defense. Made that tackle.
Ingram steps out to his left. He's got a man. It's Dasani Constantine picking up the first down and then some for the Saints.
Nazi Tisdale, I think that is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm mixing up teams here.
Yeah,
sorry about that, George. Yeah, Nazir Tisdale for the Saints. My apologies on that for Churchville-Chili and East mixing up the teams there. But a great reception by Tisdale to get the first down for the Saints is now on 1st and 10. A good pitch there to Jaron Mewborn with a big gain on that run.
That was a nice run.
2nd down and 2. There's a fumble off the snap. Ingram gets hit up high. He does muscle his way forward.
We have a flag on the play.
For a little bit. Yes, and there is a flag. We'll await the signal from the referee.
His center having trouble getting that ball to him.
Yeah, it was a bit of an awkward snap, as here we'll take a look at the referee's call. Face masking on East.
That's too bad because the East had him, and somebody got a little excited and grabbed the face mask. So that's 2 big penalties on this drive, offsides, and now you got the 15-yard, the major penalty, takes it inside the 20, so now they're in the red zone.
That's right. Moving the chains they are as Ingram sets up from the shotgun. The snap, Ingram looks to his right. He goes up to the end zone, and it's just slightly overthrown, but there may be some pass interference there, and we do have a flag.
Yeah, both guys were jockeying. I don't know. They were jockeying for position out there. I don't know if you could throw the flag like that. I might have let that one go because they both were going at it.
We'll see what the call is. It's going to be pass interference on East. So
that would have been better if he called it a holding penalty, if anything.
pass was intended for Dennis Sweats. It didn't quite look like it was going to get to the end zone, but then sure enough, he overthrew it.
Right. That's why it's kind of difficult to make a call, because he's saying, could he adjust it? I don't think he could have made an adjustment to even get to that ball.
So it'll be first down once again for the Saints, and this should take us, it'll now be first and goal for the Saints as they, the ball has been placed just inside the 10-yard line.
Yes, indeed, inside the 10, wow.
Ingram sets up. And a handoff up the middle to Mewborn. Mewborn tripped up and then eventually ruled down for a loss of about a yard or two.
Yes, number 51 made a nice stop there. Charles Brown, nice play. Came into the backfield and made the tackle.
Jerron Ingram running over to the sidelines real quick to have a word with the coaching staff. We'll see what the coaches told them and if Jerron can execute it. As Ingram lines up from the shotgun. He steps back, looks to the end zone. He's got a man, but it's off his hand and incomplete.
Corey Powell.
There we go, George. That's the guy you said to look out for, and now Ingram is looking for him.
Yeah, because he's very fluid, and he got some ups about him. The ball was just slightly overthrown. He just couldn't make a play. East had good coverage too. The defensive backs are playing well so far for East.
For sure, as that'll bring up 3rd and 11 as we're down to 4:40 to go in this opening quarter. Ingram once again from the shotgun. He's got Mewborn with him. And here's the fake handoff, play action to Mewborn. He's looking deep. He's got a man and almost intercepted by Kerry James.
Kerry James should have picked that. That should have been a pick. The receiver fell down. The receiver was open, but he fell, and the defender had a chance to just pick it right off.
I believe the pass was intended for Churchville-Chili of the Saints, and then Kerry James coming out of nowhere looking to pick that off and just missed it. He did have to jump for it, so maybe that played a factor, but that'll bring up 4th and 11.
I think he was going to make a hit on the receiver, and then when the receiver went down, that kind of threw everything off.
Right.
He's looking to make the big hit and not the interception. 4th and down. Here they go.
The Saints will go for it here on 4th down as Ingram lines up from the shotgun. And the snap is low, and down goes Ingram as he couldn't handle the snap, and a big stop for East High on 4th down.
Churchville-Chili coach is livid about that. I mean, he's hot. I don't blame him. The center and quarterback should be in sync, and that's about the 3rd or 4th fumble snap that we've had. He should make them over here start snapping it and working on it. That's our way our coach used to do. He used to make you fumble that in the game, you come to the sideline and start snapping.
I agree with you.
Until the coach said, all right, that's enough. And he have you snap all the way to the next series.
I agree, George. You know, that's something that should be a given for the center and the quarterback to be in sync. But nonetheless, East High will take over from the 20-yard line. It's 1st and 10 as we'll get another look at Jatavion James Simmons lining up from the shotgun. James Simmons gets the snap, a quick handoff, a run up the side and out of bounds at about the 28-yard line, and a pretty good gain there for East High.
For Freddie Brock, number 8, Freddie Brock with the run. That was a nice run. Looked like he was going to get knocked out of bounds, but he just kept going. He kept picking up. That's the best run of the game so far.
For sure, as we're not sure what it is that he saw, but obviously some open space down the right side, so that's at least something to work with here as it's now 2nd and 2 for East. James Simmons with the calls. He'll take it himself up the middle. He's quickly approached, though, and brought down by Ricky Allen, the junior defensive lineman for the Churchville-Chili Saints. What a stop.
Nice stop. This is a very good, what I like, a good defensive game here. Both teams' defenses are very aggressive. They're not afraid to come in and make a play, and that's what's going on so far.
That's right, George. It's nothing wrong with appreciating good defense, as that's what both teams have displayed here so far, as we're down to 3:50 remaining in this first quarter. Still looking for the game's first points, as
You notice on the sideline, the guy throwing the ball low for the quarterback to get it, like he's expecting every snap to be low.
Right.
It's interesting what kind of practice they're doing on the Churchville-Chili sideline. Oh,
right,
now
yeah.
his snap.
Meanwhile, there's a bad snap for East, and trying to get away from it is James Simmons, and he's eventually brought down.
I think he fumbled the ball.
Yes.
Fumble. It's a fumble.
Now a big scramble for
it was picked up by number 8. Number 8, Churchville-Chili, picked up the fumble as they stripped him as he was trying to continue to run. He was stripped of the ball. I saw him running, and I thought he was going to cover up and go down, but instead he was trying to fight for extra yards, and they knocked the ball right out.
Right. Now, the East coaches have stepped onto the field momentarily. I'm not sure if they're protesting. Maybe he was down, if maybe James Simmons was down, and therefore it would negate the fumble, but it doesn't look like they're going to win the argument here as Churchville-Chili is coming onto the field and ready to get to work offensively.
And that was for a loss either way. He should have just went down. When the second guy grabbed him, that's when he was supposed to just, all right, just go. There's no need to, what you fighting for? You're already 5-10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Just go down and take the loss. That's what you got to teach the young guys.
In to take the snap at QB for Churchville-Chili is junior quarterback Ethan Putney. It looks like now as...
they're making a change. Okay.
Yeah.
Our coach used to do that too. He used to take the quarterback. Hey, man, you're not executing. Let's give next man up. Ethan Putney look like he's going to get the play.
Perhaps maybe Jerron Ingram lost too many snaps for Coach Jeffers' liking so far in this game, and now he's going to reward Putney with an opportunity to see what he's got.
Yes.
As the ball lined up at the 10-yard line.
Look for more running plays here with Putney in the game. I got a feeling they're going to an I formation too. So I think a running play here.
Putney with a snap, a handoff to Mewborn. Up the middle he goes to the goal line. Did he get in? Waiting for the signal from the official. We've got nothing so far, so I think he's going to be short at the 1.
Straight power football. I formation. Fullback led the way. There was a nice hole inside in between the tackle and guard, and he just took it all the way to the 1-yard line.
Phenomenal opportunity here for the Saints to take advantage and get on the board first as we're down to 2:50 remaining in the first quarter. It'll be second down on the 1-yard line.
At the 1.
As here's the handoff, Putney again to Mewborn. To the goal line he goes, and still no signal.
Wow.
So East comes up with the stop.
Wow, that's it. I'm impressed with that stop there, because it looked like he was gonna just fall into the end zone, but they held him out. 3rd and goal.
I believe it was Deljon Johnson of East High who stepped up and really stood up to Dejar Mewborn to keep him out of the end zone.
Yes, indeed. 3rd and looked like inches. They're in that I formation once again. Look like they're going to go with power football.
That's right. It's Putney once again on 3rd down. A handoff this time, and in they are as it's Naziere Tisdale getting the touchdown for Churchville-Chili.
Yes, he walked in standing up. Look like his parents are quite happy, quite proud of him right below us here. I see like Tisdale's there. Okay.
So it only took about 10 minutes, but the game finally has its first score as the Churchville-Chili Saints get that touchdown from Naziere Tisdale. As we're just inside 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. And coming on to take the extra point will be Tyler Passamonte. The kick is up, and it's good.
Good.
So Churchville-Chili striking first here at Ed Cavalieri Stadium at East High in what is opening weekend here for Section 5 football of the 2017 season.
All right. And now they got kickoff. It's getting windy. Boy, it's getting darker too. Look like we might have some. That American flag is waving quite briskly all of a sudden.
Yeah, and those watching and listening here can probably hear it being picked up on the ambient mic sound. We're trying to keep it to a minimum so it doesn't affect your ability to hear the game, of course, but We also want you to hear some of the sound effects going on.
Exactly.
So we're trying to balance it between both.
But that was power football. The turnover set it up, and that might be what's going to be the difference in today's game, turnovers. That could be it. But that one sure did set it up, the fumble, set it up for a short field, and they used power football to get the score.
That's right, as Pasamonte will line up for the Saints as he gets set to kick it off.
Offside.
He kicks that in.
Offsides already.
This one will come back. Well, the penalty will be enforced at the spot of the ball, I would assume at that point.
He's
but
calling a legal procedure, so he stopped them before they even kicked the ball off. So somebody must have really
oh, okay.
started their approach to the ball.
So it looks like then it'll be a re-kick for the Saints and Pasamonte. Well, we'll try this again. Tyler Pasamonte lining up to kick it off after his team had just gone up 7-0 here in the first quarter against the East High Eagles. Kick is fielded by East, looking to gain some yardage. There is, looks like Freddie Brock.
Yeah, Freddie Brock trying to get loose.
Pretty good return there as he's stopped just shy of the 39-yard line, so pretty good field position to work with here for East as they look to put something together before the end of the first quarter.
Yes, indeed. East got to get it going. They got good field position. This will be a good time for them now to hopefully improve on their execution. And keep in mind, they're going into the win, so maybe they have to run the ball a little more.
Certainly something to keep in mind.
Some confusion there. The quarterback is hollering. Yeah, he's screaming for the guy to get into the backfield.
But it looks like James Simmons has the guys out there who he wants as he gets set. 1st and 10 from the 38 for East. From the shotgun, James Simmons looks downfield, and that's way overthrown and incomplete, of course.
Yeah, that's way overthrown. Yeah, that wind is taking that ball off.
Tough to tell from up here who that was intended for, but either way, they don't get any yards out of it, and it'll bring up 2nd down. From the 38, James Simmons. He's got 4 wide receivers. He gets the snap, looking downfield, and
almost
just
took the head
shy.
of the line. The referee almost got his head taken off. The ball came right in.
That's right. That pass was intended for Jalen Holmes, but just came up short, and it'll be incomplete and bring up 3rd and 10 once again for East.
Yeah, I think he should try to run the ball to the outside because use their speed. I would be trying to get the ball, fake a pass, and get the ball and try to turn the corner.
Now James Simmons with an empty backfield on 3rd down. So you can pretty much put a few things together and know what's coming as he gets set. The snap, James Simmons wheels out to his left, looking downfield. He cuts back, in some trouble, and eventually brought down for a loss of yardage. That'll bring up 4th down.
Yes. Yeah, he didn't have much help there. Maybe, the way the pressure is coming, they may consider going with some screen passes just to help alleviate some of that rush because they're just coming at him every time.
Right. Do you think, George, that he was looking at potentially taking off and running on his own?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's not able to see what's going on because he's under so much pressure. He's just trying to do the best he get away with it, run with the ball, and not turn it over.
Right. Punting unit is on for East as we are inside the final minute of this opening quarter. 7-0 Churchville as they get set to receive the ball.
Wind got it again.
Bit of a short punt. It lands at the 50, so East will try and down it as quickly as possible, and they do so as gobbling that one up was Zaire Gray. So Churchville will take over from East's 48-yard line and we'll see what they can do with time winding down in the first quarter. Obviously, they'll still maintain their possession going on in the second quarter, but they'll have to switch to into the wind. So you can pretty much say that they're going to be wanting to, try and move as far as possible and maybe even score before that in that 42 seconds.
Exactly.
Putney's still in the game at QB as he takes the snap and drops back. Runs to his right, but then he's quickly gobbled up into the pressure that was coming, and that'll be a big loss for Churchville.
Yeah, that was really surprising. I thought they would run the ball. They go back to that power football formation and run out of that eye, which they've had success on the last drive. But it looked like they're gonna run the clock out.
Yeah, as the ball is now back into Churchville's own end on their 45-yard line. But yeah, both teams, Churchville in no rush to get that playoff. So that'll take us to the end of the first quarter here at Ed Cavalier Stadium at East High. It's the Saints on top of the East High Eagles by a score of 7-0. We will step out for a short break, and we'll be back for the second quarter right after this. Welcome back inside Ed Cavalier Stadium as we're just about set to begin the second quarter as Putney takes the snap for Churchville. Looks downfield. He's got a man. It is complete to Terrence Wilson, I believe. He may have picked up a yard or two, but then he got wrestled to the ground by the oncoming East defenders.
Yes, I think that was Mike Mule. Mike Mule, number 21 for...
who made the catch? Yeah, sorry, I saw a 1 in the number. I wasn't sure if it was Terrence or Mule, but...
Oh, that's why I'm here. We got a couple of 4 eyes. We got to get as many eyes on it as possible.
You got it, George.
Football is such a fast game. My goodness, and the plays happen quickly. Yeah, he took a shot there. It looked like he's coming out. He's okay, but he's coming out. They're bringing him out, putting someone else in the game on this next play.
Yeah, I guess that was confirmation as we got a shot of the sideline there that it was Mike Mule making the catch and walking off on the sideline. So that'll bring up third and 15 for Churchville. And we've got the play stopped here. And it's going to be a timeout taken by the Saints. Coaching staff or somebody down there didn't like what they saw and wanted to take a second here to get reorganized. This would certainly be a big first down conversion for the Saints if they are able to convert, but with 15 to go, it might be asking for a lot.
Oh yeah, could easily be asking an awful lot. Third and 15, East is playing good ball, good defense. So it should be interesting. This might be, but now keep in mind, Churchville-Chili is now going into the win. So now those passes are not going to be as precise as before.
That's right. That's something we were mentioning all first quarter. So we'll see how it might benefit East going forward. But either way, here's Putney on third down lining up from the shotgun. He's got 3 wide outs as he steps back. And now he'll go forward looking to pick up some yards. He does. Close to the first down. I think he's going to come up short.
Just short. I think he's going to come up just short of the first down. They may even go for it on 4th and 1.
I would say so. At that point, if after a big play by Putney like that, you might as well let him finish what he started there as we're waiting for an official signal from the official. Well, they put the ball down, so it is going to be short. Yeah.
4th and about 2 yards. I think it's less than 2.
Yeah, it is. It's probably like 1.5 if we're trying to be ultra precise. But either way, it's 4th down with a little to go. Let's see what Churchville's got as Putney takes the snap, a handoff up the middle, and they get the first down and then some. To the 20, to the 15, 10, and into the end zone goes Mike Muley.
Yes, and he broke containment and he was gone. Broke the containment. That usually happens. East got a good push inside. They missed him in the backfield. He broke it to the outside and was gone.
So a little bit of a risk taken by Churchville-Chili, but sometimes you've got to take that risk to get a big reward, and that's what they did here. And now they're sitting a little bit more comfortably with that 13 and assumingly 14 to nothing lead as we get set for them to take the extra point here. But what a run by Mike Muley and a great play and a great play call, I should say, by the Churchville offense. The kick is up, and it's good to officially put the Saints up 14-0 as Tyler Pasamonte is now 2 for 2 on extra points in the game thus far.
Yeah, 14-0 is going to be a tough little uphill climb for East, especially going into the win. This is why we saw Churchville-Chili make that move of deferring and kicking off to East. It's after the turnover, things are starting to go their way.
That's right. And now the big question that we've been talking about, several times so far, George, is we'll see what it's like with East having the opportunity to go the other way and not having to battle that wind. Right. And we'll see if it'll help them out a little bit.
Well, Churchville-Chili have their cheerleaders doing push-ups for each point. What? They just did 14 push-ups over here. Wow.
I'm not sure what that's all about. Maybe it's
they look like they're in good shape. They did them rather easily too.
Maybe it's an agreement the cheerleaders made with the players. They said every touchdown you guys score, we'll do, or however many points you get on a particular play, we'll do that many push-ups.
Yeah.
All right, we'll pass Pasamonte back onto the field for Churchville to kick this one off as we're down to 10-11 remaining in the second quarter with the Saints up 14-0. Oh, and this one is completely botched by Freddie Brock, and he's in his own end zone, in some trouble. No. Can he get out?
No.
He cannot.
Oh, that was terrible. That young man, somebody needs to talk to that young man about falling on the ball and staying in the field to play. Once he touched it, once he muffed it, all he had to do, he did pick it up. Once he picked it up, he should have just picked it up and went forward and if he had to dive onto the ground. You never go into your own end zone. And then run around like a chicken with your head cut off. I mean, he was just running back there. What was he doing?
Official ruling is, of course, a safety, so that'll put 2 more points on the board for Churchville, which brings their lead to 16-0. And yeah, it was interesting, George, because Freddie, he completely missed the ball. I mean, it's almost like he took his eyes off of it after it bounced, and it's almost like those plays in baseball where you see infielders miss those short hops or ground balls, and that's kind of what
so he didn't even touch it?
No, I don't believe so.
Wow. So it really wasn't even a muff. All he had to do was just fall on the ball back then, and everything would have been cool.
Right.
Not what he did. Oh, my gosh. He picked it up and ran it back into his own end zone, and you never go backwards. Hopefully one of those coaches over there will whisper in his ear that, hey, man, you can't do that, man. You got to go forward. Forward, not backwards.
A difficult situation indeed for East, as now they'll have to kick it back to Churchville once again, even after surrendering another 2 points. And for the Churchville-Chili Saints, this is exactly what they needed, exactly what they wanted, and they've got a great lead to work with. And I mean, the game is still very young, so it would be in their best interest to continue and build as much as possible, but at least they can kind of relax here. We talked about those first game jitters, so hopefully this will allow them to relax a little bit.
Hopefully. And it could have been worse. You could have fumbled, too.
Bit of a squib kick there by East as it's fielded by Dom Bethune of Churchville, and he will get the ball into East's territory.
Yeah, right now the East defense is playing quite well. It's just the mistakes. The mistakes are really hurting them today. And the good thing on that play, that safety, luckily he didn't fumble in the end zone and the ball being recovered by the Churchville-Chili Saints. That would have made it a touchdown and put them up 21 instead of at least it being 16-0 right now. So that's something to be thankful for on that particular situation.
Right, if you're trying to give the benefit of the doubt, for sure. As when we mentioned earlier, for those of you who might be joining late, Jerron Ingram was in at quarterback off the get-go for Churchville, and about midway through that first quarter, Ethan Putney came in, and he's in there now to take first down as he hands it off there to Mewborn. Mewborn to his right. He's bumped into there and eventually forced out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. So he does pick up a couple of yards.
He took a nice shot, too, going out of bounds there. That was good hustle on the young man. Good defensive play, too.
Yeah, you can really see the way that East has they're maybe trying to bring an intimidation factor. Their defense is really hitting hard.
Yes, they are. They like to hit, which is a good sign. That's a good sign for a football team.
Putney with another handoff to Mewborn. He goes up the middle and was sprung for about 4 or 5 yards there to keep the chains moving.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a nice run, nice tackle as well. East got to make a big play. D got to come up with a big stop on third and
3, it looks like, based off of the chains. Putney. Play action to Mewborn, and he'll take it himself. Did he get enough for the first? It looks like.
No, that was a quarterback keeper. Putney kept it. Let's see what Putney did.
And they gave him the first down, yes.
Oh, wow.
It was signaled by the official on the far side. He gave the first down signal, so that'll bring the ball to the 30-yard line. And props to Churchville here for moving the ball well, as Putney's got Mewborn in the backfield once again. And he'll give it to him. Mewborn up the middle. Ran into there by a wall of East High players. Nettie Saye was one of those on the tackle. And they are going to give Mewborn a gain of 1 on that play, with the ball now on the 29-yard line, as this will bring up 2nd and 9. 8:38 remaining here in the second quarter. 16-0 Churchville. Putney looking deep. He's got a man, and it's intercepted. The pass was intended for Dennis Sweats, and it was picked off by Kerry James, and we saw him miss an opportunity earlier in the game in the first quarter of a great interception, but he made no mistake on that one.
No, he redeemed himself on that play. Very nice play by Kerry James. He waited till that ball was starting to come down and just out-jumped the receiver and took the ball right from the receiver. And the receiver made a nice job of making sure he made contact with him on the ground to keep it back. So they'll be hemmed up in their own end. But Kerry James, nice interception.
Couldn't tell from here if that pass was overthrown or underthrown. But
underthrown.
Underthrown. Okay.
It was an alley-oop. He was trying to get him on the alley-oop play, but once again that wind hit it and that ball stayed up a little too long. Allowed the defender, Kerry James, to come over from his safety position and make the interception.
Right. I was going to say either way, Kerry James came up with it, so that's all that matters. But just trying to break it down a little bit and see where plays happen is now. Let's see what East can do. They've got some tough field position to work with, but you got to start somewhere. As James Simmons gets the snap, and he'll take it himself. Gets himself back to the line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So they are going to give James Simmons a gain of 1 on that last play. That'll bring up 2nd and 9 for East.
Yeah, they backed up in their own zone at their own 6-yard line, so they don't want to be too fancy down at their own goal line.
Obviously, you want to be careful with any passes, too. In the event of a turnover, it could set up some unfortunate situations. But there's the handoff, and once again, it's James Simmons taking it.
He got it over the 10-yard line. He got a nice little gain there. That's what they got to do: inch their way out of the from under the shadows of their own goal post.
Right. That'll bring up 3rd down, and it doesn't look like they're gonna give them any gain on that one. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. Yes, they are. Because it's now 3rd and 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a big play here. They need to get a first down. Need to get a first down to keep this drive alive and give them some better field position.
3rd and 3 from the 11. James Simmons in the backfield. And he steps back to pass, looks to his right. He's got a man. It's complete.
Nice pass. Best pass of the day for James Simmons. That's the first down, too.
And it looks like that was complete to, was it Freddie Brock, number 8? Yeah.
Yes. Freddie Brock is becoming his go-to guy this evening. That was a nice play, nice pass and catch.
Redemption by Freddie Brock for coming up with that catch, as opposed to him missing the kickoff from earlier. That is the reason why it's 16-0 as opposed to 14-0.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see if he can get some momentum here, as James Simmons will line up from the shotgun once again from the 19-yard line. A quick handoff, and not much picked up there.
Not much at all.
As it looks like it was Tahir Gano on the run there for East.
Yeah, 2nd and 10. East got to start moving the ball. They're using a lot of clock. They used over 3 minutes.
Right.
A couple on this drive already.
Right. I was just going to say we just hit with 6 minutes remaining in this second quarter, and they're going to call it 2nd and 11 to go for East here with the ball on the 18-yard line as James Simmons gets set from the shotgun. He'll take it himself. He goes up the right side, but he's quickly bombarded by oncoming linemen, and he went nowhere.
Oh, no, I think they need to start running behind that. Jackie Williams, number 77, he comes in at 330 pounds, and you got Bobby Seawright, number 78. I don't know. I go between those tackle and guards right there. Those are two big cats out there. I'll get that ball. I would run between those two guys instead of going to the other side of the offensive line. 3rd and 9. Here they come. Another time for another big play.
It happened last time. Let's see if they can match it once again. It certainly would be big, as now James Simmons is going with an empty backfield and plenty of wideouts and options to go with. And we've got a whistle now to stop play.
East called timeout.
Okay, there we go. Yes, so timeout East, and they'll get reorganized and stop the clock as well, and we'll see what they can draw up here. What do you, George, what would you go to in this kind of situation? You know, you're back in your own end, you still got 9 yards to gain. Do you try maybe a quick slant? Do you lob it up for a post route for your receiver? What would you suggest?
I would be going after that Freddie Brock. He's hot right now. He's upset. He made a nice play, made a couple mistakes, but he's out there hustling. I would give him a ball, give him a shot at it. And also maybe go to Roundtree, the number 15, Tyrone Roundtree, get a chance to you got to get a kind of like a safe play, like a slant or even something to the sideline, because they are going against the wind. So he can throw the ball accurately because he's going against the wind. So he got a chance to really make a nice play. Or even, you might not gamble and throw the deep ball because you're out of your own goal line at least. At least you got room enough where you can maneuver and make some plays.
Right. You mentioned Freddie Brock is running the hot hand right now, and it seems like just from, obviously recent memory of this game that Freddie Brock is the only guy who's been touching the ball other than James Simmons on that East offense. So
yes,
it would be nice, like you said, to get some of the other guys involved, but obviously it depends on what's open.
Yeah, Jalen Holmes, number 5, he's been out there too, hustling too. Get him involved and get Malik McCray, also another wide receiver, involved. He has the guys. He just got to get it to him. Start spreading that ball around.
3rd and 9 from the 20, as now James Simmons has a back with him in the backfield. James Simmons steps back, looks to his right. Now he's in trouble, and down he goes, and that'll bring up 4th down. Couldn't tell from here who was on the tackle for Churchville-Chili, but whoever it was did their job, and the Churchville defense did their job on that series of downs.
Yeah, they might have to roll him out the pocket a little bit in the second half. Roll James Simmons out so that he can buy himself a little bit more time. Because right now he's not getting enough time to even look down the field, right, let alone make a decision on who he wants to go to.
And obviously that's always difficult for a quarterback. You can't be expected to make plays if you're not given time to make those plays.
Not at all. Not at all.
As East has the punting unit on and quickly approached.
Block.
And
they block.
The block punt by Churchville, and into the end zone they go. That's going to be Naziere Tisdale picking up the block punt and running it into the end zone to add to Churchville's lead.
Yeah, Naziere Tisdale is having a heck of a game.
That's his 2nd touchdown of the evening, and first from the defensive side. Obviously his other was rushing from the offensive side, but he's making plays and he's getting it done for his team.
Yeah, and it's all mistakes. Just mistakes by East.
Field goal unit on to try and tack on the extra point. Tyler Passamonte will be the one taking it. He's 2 for 2 thus far in the game.
Yeah, that was a costly special team error.
The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is once again good.
Wow. Boy, 23-0 right now. East got to go in the locker room, and, or at least in this last 3:54, try to see if they can get something started. Because basically, you look at it, it's mistakes. They're not being really beat in all phases of the game. Their defense is having an excellent game. It's just the mistakes, the turnovers.
You said it, George, and all of these turnovers are becoming repetitive and obviously hurting more so and more so. And now with 3:54 to go in this second quarter, there's like we said before, there still is plenty of time. The game is still relatively young, but if you don't stop the bleeding or at least put an effort to do so, it could get out of hand easily. As the kicking unit will be on now for Churchville, Pasamonte will look to send it as far as he can go as he's getting it into the wind. There's an American flag right in front of us in the booth that's been constantly blowing to our left, and it's been standing straight up. That means the wind has been howling pretty well for a good chunk of this game.
Oh, yeah, and it's only getting worse now. You're getting a lot. That wind is getting there. The lights are starting to take effect on the field, so we're starting to get into a night game.
Pasamonte sends it down the field, and Brock picks it up. He makes a nice move, and he makes another nice move, avoids some tackles. He's past the 50,
look at him!
The 40, the 30, the 20, down to the 10, and into the end zone.
Oh, my God.
And Freddie Brock, after botching the last kick return that ended up in a safety for Churchville, a safety against his team, goes the distance this time around and gets East High on the board.
And then most importantly, I thought he had was going to fumble the kickoff again, but he picked it up like a shortstop. It was on one hop, and it bounced like right beside him. He picked it up right in stride, and he went right up the middle. And man, I don't know how he got out of that wave of players there at midfield. When he cut to the outside, I thought they were going to trip him up, but not so. Maybe that's why the quarterback's been trying to get the ball into Freddie Brock's hands, because he sees he's lightning in a bottle.
That's what I'm saying, George. A couple of great moves right at about the 45, 50-yard line was where he made them. And I would say we didn't see exactly where he had picked it up from, but that had to at least have been a 70-yard return for Freddie Brock. And that's the kind of thing you need to get your team back into a game. And
yes, indeed.
Now it looks like, are they going for two here, Easton?
Yes, they are. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
They're going for two.
Jatavion James Simmons is on the field.
Easton burns their second timeout of the half.
Okay, yeah, as you see the coaching staff making their way out there to have a word with some of the guys.
Guys were a little too excited, I think. So they must didn't have the play down because he had to call time, or it would have been delay a game.
Definitely easy to get excited after a play like that. A 70-plus yard return by Freddie Brock to get your team's first touchdown of the game. But yeah, it's also equally important to make sure you maintain your composure and focus on what's next.
Exactly. What's next is the key. What's next? Now they got to execute on this 2 points, and hopefully they can get the 2-point conversion. Then come back out, get a defensive stop, and maybe get a chance to get another score on the board before halftime.
That's right. Every little of it would certainly help as James Simmons leads his team onto the field looking for that 2-point conversion as he lines up from a shotgun. James Simmons wheels to his right. He looks into the end zone, but that's going to be ruled incomplete as it hit the ground well beyond its intended target.
Yeah, Malik McCray. He was trying to hit Malik McCray right at the goal line, but it was just too tight of a area, and that ball, he just bounced that ball off the turf.
So an attempted 2-point conversion for East to get themselves even closer in this game does not go as planned, but despite that, they do get on the board and hopefully for their case some momentum in their direction as we're down to 3:39 remaining in the first half as East will get set to kick the ball back to Churchville-Chili.
Right. Here we go, 23-6. East can kick it off. We'll be kicking off to Churchville-Chili. Hopefully they can get a stop and get the ball back and might be able to find Freddie Brock or some other receiver to help get them some more points to get them back into this game.
If you're joining us late, my name is Matt Stathopoulos, and I'm joined by George Radway on color commentary. We appreciate you joining and listening, and hope that we are. Oh, sorry, Radney. Sorry, George. I didn't mean to
you excited too about
name.
that last play. We're all still excited about that.
Yeah. But we definitely appreciate you tuning in and listening to our broadcast here as the ball is muffed by Churchville-Chili, but eventually picked up there by Dylan Moss for a return and a big scramble at about the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Dylan Moss almost broke loose there after muffing that kickoff. He picked it after picking it up, and he almost broke loose. But they got him back around the 15-yard line. No, 10-yard line. They're about the 12-yard line. So they're in the shadow of their goal line. Just a big. Hopefully, East can get a turnover or force them on a 3-and-out.
Right. Yeah, definitely not quite as far as the 15, and they're marking it at the 12. So, like you said, George, this is an opportunity for East to pin Churchville into their own end. But Churchville's been hot lately, and we'll see what else they can drum up, if anything.
They got the wide receiver at quarterback, Dennis Schwartz.
Dennis Schwartz lining up at QB, and it's a fake snap to the man to his left. That's Mike Mule. He goes to the left side, but is going to be tackled for a loss. And he's run out of bounds eventually, so nothing doing there for Churchville.
Now he's sending Eric Lewis in. I think Eric Lewis going in at, who's going in at quarterback? Eric Lewis is going in, and Dennis Sweats look like he's still going to be Dennis Sweats look like he's going to stay at quarterback.
Number 3, Eric Lewis, was definitely just put into the game. We'll see who's lined up at the QB position, and it does look like it's going to be Sweats. Yeah, Sweats will start from the shotgun.
I don't see Ethan Portney on the sideline. I'm looking for number 6. I don't see him on the sideline who came in. And
we'll keep an eye on that, but there's the snap to Sweats. He looks to break free on the left side, but he's not going to, as he's quickly approached by the oncoming East defenders and taken down. What's that, George? There's Putney. Yeah, okay, we see him.
He was behind the coaches there, coaches and players, so he's still active there. Yeah.
Right. This is going to be 3rd down and 14 from the 9-yard line. Churchville in their own end looking to come out with it as we are approaching the 2-minute warning. I think they'll take it down to that. Or maybe they'll get a playoff before.
I think East has one more timeout left. So they want to conserve that last timeout. Under 2 minutes. Here we go. Oh, he's running with
it. Putney trying to come away with it. He does, and then he's taken down just before the 15. So a gain of a little bit, but not enough to come up with the first.
Yeah, Putney didn't want to put it up for grabs. He didn't want to force a turnover. So that was a smart move, tucking it away and trying to pick up as many yards as he could.
Right.
Yeah. But I got to go down there so I can.
So East did use their last timeout.
Yes, I was going to say the clock is stopped at 1:43 remaining here in the second quarter. So I guess that's a smart move. East wants to preserve the clock as much as possible because they probably feel like they can get some plays off and get a couple more points.
They got plenty of time.
Before this half is over. Yeah.
Plenty of time. If they get the ball around midfield, oh man, they got all kinds of time. 1:43 left. They can work the ball downfield.
DeJare Mewborn coming in off the sidelines for Churchville. We'll wonder what that means. Maybe they've got some kind of trick play up their sleeve, but we will see. Yeah, although it does look like the punting unit is on. Ryan Rupp is lining up in the punter's position, but then again, Dennis Sweats is the shallow guy.
Mm-hmm.
The snap goes to Rupp, and he will kick it away. Fielded there by Brock.
Oh, here he comes again.
Makes his way to his right, but he's tripped up at the 40-yard line. That's a great play by DeJare Mewborn. Not only is he a running back, but he can make plays defensively as well.
That's what you got to do. I think Churchville-Chili Saints were on their toes. They saw Brock with the ball, and they said, hey, he's not going to score this time. And that's what they did. You could see a little bit extra hustle in the Saints players on that punt. I think their head coach or their special teams coach had a word with him on the sideline.
That's right, yeah. And now with 1:32 remaining here in this first half, it's pretty good field position for the East High Eagles. Let's see if they can drum something up here. They're down 23-6, and they'd certainly love to go into the second half with some more points to their name, as now James Simmons lines up from the shotgun from the 41. A handoff down the left side, and a gain of nothing there, as trying to get a number on who that was. That was Freddie Brock once again on the run.
Yeah, it was no gain. They got. I'm surprised they're taking too. Their plays are taking too long to develop. They got to just do like a power sweep or something where they can just take off rather than do that extra. It's taking too much time.
Right. We'll see what they got here as James Simmons once again on 2nd and 10 from the shotgun. Wheels to his right, gets hit as he throws. He's got a man though, and it's complete
nice
for the first down. And that is Freddie Brock. What a half Freddie Brock has had so far in terms of offense. Or wait, is that
number 5?
Yeah, no, I think it might be number 6. It might be Kenny Wilson.
Yeah, these numbers are really bad.
Yeah. Jeez, East High, please do us a favor and at least make your numbers a little bit brighter for us broadcasters.
Yeah, darker. They bright. It's like a gold jersey, a gold number on a blue background.
1st and 10 from the 29. A low snap, picked up though by James Simmons. He tries to get away, and now he loses the ball, but I believe it's quickly picked up there by his lineman. Yeah, it was picked up there by
number 28. Number 28.
Deljon Johnson. Yes, so East High will keep the ball down to 16 seconds remaining in this first half. Did they get the snap off? We've got a whistle.
Yeah, they're wasting too much time.
Oh, and now the play was continuing? I'm confused here. I don't know. Because we definitely heard a whistle, but then East High coaches ran onto the field and told their guys to keep going with it.
And East High coaches just coming out of the box right above us, and they're fired up. They don't like what they're seeing either. So they're going into the locker room, going down to the locker room to have a talk with these young men as well, because they're not executing like they should.
Probably best to stay out of the coach's way, huh, George?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you saw me move out of his way.
Yeah.
I moved out of his way for sure. 13 seconds. Well, why isn't the clock running? The clock should be running. Clock should be running.
13 seconds.
I think they had to
go here.
I think they had to reset the clock. I think they had to reset it. I think that it's because they didn't have. They're out of timeouts. I don't know why. It's not being reset. The referee hasn't given the signal for the clock to start. The referee got to give the signal for the clock to start.
Right.
He has not. Now he looked like now he's giving the signal. Okay.
There we go. Now the Churchville coaching staff was infuriated because of that.
And now East is why is East not snapping the ball when they should have snapped that ball? As soon as the referee got from over the ball, you gotta snap it.
Now there's a whole lot of confusion down on the field as multiple people are looking for explanations, but the clock reads 8.2 for right now, and East will get set, and the clock is going.
Why wouldn't he snap the ball?
James Simmons now snaps it. This is going to be the last play of the half, barring any penalties. He throws it up for the end zone. Oh, and the pass was intended for Malik McCray. He may have been interfered with.
Yeah, he was. He was knocked down. But number 5 for East High, Jalen Holmes, he should have read that play. He stopped his route. If he would have kept his route and ran behind, and once the East receiver was knocked down, he could have caught that ball because he was the only guy there left in the end zone, in the back of the end zone. But instead, he stopped his route like at the 2-yard line to watch the play. See, if you want to watch the play, you get on the sideline and watch the play. If you're going to play, when you step on between those hash marks and go onto the field, you become a player, not a watcher. And they need to talk. They got to see that on film. He was watching the play, Jalen Holmes. If he would have ran down there and that play happened and he would have read what was happening, he could have caught that ball by himself for a touchdown.
That's a great observation, George. It just goes to show how much of a difference those little things matter in games like this. But yeah, it was you can see the.
And he's a senior too, so I'm surprised as a senior he did not. For him to cut his route out like that, And they're arguing about the clock. It was a problem with the clock.
Right. But I think they were also arguing they wanted a pass interference call on that last play.
Right.
But obviously they didn't get it, and that has taken us to halftime here at Ed Cavalieri Stadium at East High. It's the Churchville-Chili Saints on top of the East High Eagles by a score of 23-6. For George and myself, we will see you at halftime, or sorry, for the start of the second half after a brief message from our sponsors. Welcome back to East High School here for the 2017 Section 5 High School Football Opening Weekend. It's the Churchville-Chili Saints versus the East High Eagles as we are just about set to begin the second half of play. My name is Matt Stathopoulos. I'm with George Radney. George, 23-6
yes.
for Churchville-Chili so far. I think it's pretty self-explanatory with the reasons why the score is that way. We've talked about it a lot from this point, but give us your thoughts on that first half so far and why we're at this score.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you look at the defensive side of the ball, East played an excellent first half defensively, so as well as the Churchville-Chili Saints. But the big difference in this game are the turnovers. It's just plain and simple turnovers. East is playing like a young team. They're making mistakes. The safety is a prime example. Then the quarterback fumbling the ball instead of going down and taking the sack. He tried to do something with it and got the ball punched out of his hand, and they was recovered at the 9-yard line. The Saints took it in for a score. Almost all the Saints' points have come off of the turnover. And if East can stop the turnovers and make some plays offensively, they can get back in this game. Get Freddie Brock as well as some of these other Malik McCray. Get him involved in it. Jalen Holmes, get him involved. And, of course, Freddie Brock, who's really leading the way. They got to continue to sustain an offensive drive, get a few big plays in, and who knows, maybe even get a turnover or two to get back in this one.
How would you evaluate Jatavian James Simmons' game so far, the quarterback for East? He's had some good looks, but obviously those turnovers have been a factor as well. What are your thoughts on him?
Well, my thoughts on him right now is a little bit antsy, a little bit uptight. He's not getting a lot of blocking up front. He got to calm it down. And I think if they run some screens, if they ran a few screen plays, that could open up some big plays for them, right? Especially a screen to Freddie Brock or Malik McCray. Get a couple of screen passes going, and if they break one on a screen pass, that's going to help them in the next series where Churchville-Chili is not going to charge as rapidly as they've been charging.
Right. Well, we'll see how this third quarter begins and whether or not East will get themselves even more back into it and see what kind of game it's going to be as it plays out. But as we mentioned in the opening during the coin toss, obviously Churchville-Chili elected to kick off, so now they will receive the ball here.
And we haven't seen Jerron Ingram back in that quarterback after his fumbles.
Oh, yes.
They went with Ethan Putney, and you can see why they went with him, because he didn't turn the ball over. He didn't drop the ball on the turf.
That's right. Jerron Ingram, for those of you who joined us late, dropped a lot of those quick snaps, and Putney was then put in, and things started to go well for Churchville. But here we are as we get set for the second half to kick off here at East High as the Eagles kicking unit is on the field.
Yeah, because they're fans. That's just fans in the crowd. There's nobody up here in the press box with us. But
another squib kick there
by
East High. It was fielded and returned fairly well by Dylan Moss of the Churchville-Chili Saints as he gets into East's territory, and then he was brutally upended. It looked like he almost got
somersaulted.
Yeah, exactly, when he was taken off of his feet. But hey, he took a hit to make the play there and set his team up with some good field position as we are underway in the third quarter.
Yes, indeed. And boy, you can tell it's fall. The sun is going down quickly. It's not even about 7?
Right.
It's barely 7:30. Not even 7:30. It looked like it's about 8:30, right?
That's
like about
right.
9 o'clock already.
You got it, George. That cold weather is coming, but that just means it's football season.
There
so
you
all's
go.
good in the world.
Pigskin is back.
1st and 10 from the 47 for Churchville. It's Putney with the play action and then a throw intended for Corey Powell, which will be incomplete to bring up second down.
A guy injured, number 53, looked like he got his ankle
Oh, yes, he's limping right at midfield there.
Yeah, I think they're going to take him out. I think they saw that he was hurt.
Yeah, he's leaning over now, and now he's going to make his way over to the sidelines. Check that. That's number 57, Jared Rose, for the Churchville-Chili Saints. So he will take a seat for the time being. Pretty good play call there by Churchville. A nice play action by Putney for the handoff, but the pass just came up set. But here he is on second down. This time he does give to the back. That's Mule, and Mule had nowhere to go on that one.
Nowhere.
So that'll be a loss of yardage.
The East defensive front, I mean, those guys with C-Right, you got a couple of 300-pounder guys in there, and they're forcing, they're not giving much running room on the inside. Churchville-Chili, their best plays have been running to the outside as well, getting away from that in the tackle to tackle.
Right. We've seen the quarterbacks do it themselves in this game, and we've seen the running backs do it as well. Some good variety by Churchville-Chili. As here we have 3rd and 13 from the 50. Putney steps back, wheels to his left. Now he's looking like he's going to take it. He's going to gain about 7 or 8 yards on that play. Obviously, still well short of the first down as he's taken out of bounds.
Yeah, he bought himself some time by rolling out. Didn't see anybody, and you notice what he does best. What I like about Ethan Putney is he protects the football. He tucked it in and ran, and it was tackled out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. He's not turning the ball over. That's why he's in the game.
That is correct. And he handles his snaps pretty well. As we mentioned earlier, that's the thing that Jaron Ingram was struggling with. But here on fourth and about 7, it looks like Churchville has the punting unit on.
Here we go.
Keep an eye on Dennis Sweats, who's lined up as the shallow guy there. And now it looks like they are going to punt it, but
fumble.
The snap was handled awkwardly by Ryan Rupp, so he will be tackled inside of his own end, and that will set up phenomenal field position for East High.
That wind is really tricky. I notice every punt tonight, the punter's having trouble handling the ball, the snap from center, because that wind is taking the ball, and they have to make an adjustment to field. The punter felt this fumble. He just outright dropped it.
Yeah, it almost looked like it hit him right in the mask, like he wasn't ready for it at all. But yeah, you're right, George. It could be a wind problem. But meanwhile, here's East High with the ball on the 40-yard line. Good field position to work with. Let's see what they can do as James Simmons lines up from the shotgun. A quick handoff to Brock. Brock stumbles over his feet. We've got a flag on the play, as the referees will now blow it dead with a big scramble at the 35-yard line. Let's see what the call was.
Churchville-Chili is good at standing the guy up, and you see how they were clawing and ripping at the ball. They're good at ripping that ball out.
As we await the call from the head referee, it's going to be holding on the offense.
Oh, that's a big call against these, big call. They can ill afford to have a holding penalty after a nice run like that.
Yeah, you said it. A big gain there by Freddie. Brock is taken back due to a mishap by his teammate, and it's a replay of first down, but back on the 48 is East High. And another stop.
Another flag down. He said encroachment on the Churchville-Chili on the Saints defense. 5 yards for encroachment.
So that'll move the chains forward a little bit for East. But what happens next is completely up to them. Let's see if they can move it amongst themselves now, as James Simmons takes the snap, steps back in the pocket, throws to the outside, and it's incomplete. That pass was intended for Jalen Holmes. It was just a little bit too high for him, wouldn't you say? Yeah.
A little too high. Now, if Eric Lewis he was concentrating on making a hit. If he would have paid attention to where the ball was going, he might have been able to intercept that poorly thrown pass.
Yeah, Holmes certainly had to jump rather high for it, and just off of his fingertips, the ball went. And this will bring up second down now for East High and James Simmons. East High staff really likes this. They really like this shotgun setup, as it seems like I have to call that every single time. But here's a handoff, and up the middle goes Jaquan Close for a gain of a few yards.
Yeah, he picked up just a few. I'll be third and about 13 yards to go. They really need to step up and make a big play.
It's going to be 3rd and 12 for East High. What started as a series with good field position has so far been not a whole lot, as East High has struggled to move the ball here, as we'll see what James Simmons can do on this 3rd down attempt. They have converted on a 3rd down before, and they could really use one here as James Simmons steps back and throws a screen.
There you go. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
Matt.
you're fine, George. I was just going to say there was a screen complete to Jalen Holmes for a gain of a few, but obviously well short of the 1st down.
They almost need to, you start with that type of screen, now come with a real screen where you can pull your guard or tackle out to give him some blocking when he catches, or even a bubble screen where you have 3 receivers on one side, you throw the one and the other 2 receivers are blocking for you downfield.
That's right.
They need something like that. With the speed they have, they could really isolate their receivers and really make some plays on the Saints defense.
Just under 9 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter. It is 4th and 9 for East High at the 39-yard line. James Simmons from the shotgun once again. He steps back, throws over the middle, and completes a pass for the 1st down and then some.
Nice catch by number 15.
That's Tyrone Roundtree for the East High Eagles.
Where you been, Tyrone? We've been calling your name before the game. Where you been? We didn't see him the whole 1st half. Glad he's showing up, Tyrone.
Better late than never, I guess. As we've said, this game is still young, so still time to claw themselves back into it. East High is, so we'll see if that play can keep this momentum going, as James Simmons will
barking out signals. He's taking a lot of time off the clock. Come on. You're losing. You're behind.
He'll take it himself off the direct snap. He gets free, and he springs his way inside the 10 to the goal line. Not quite to the goal line, I'm sorry, but he will be stopped inside the 2.
That was a tackle right there. Those guys collided at about the 2-yard line, and he went down. When you're in open space and you get hit the way he got hit on that, and it puts you down into your tracks, that tells you that was a very good defensive play there. Very good defensive play.
Very good indeed, but the damage is done against Churchville-Chili, as now East High is threatening. James Simmons from the shotgun. He'll take it again. Up the middle he goes, but he's going to come up short.
Yeah. And you need a little bit more power. You need that fullback blocking in there, and they need an I formation or another blocker to help open up a hole.
It'll be 2nd and goal for East High. George, do you take a risk in a situation like this, from high school football standards, and maybe throw the ball, or do you try and run it in every single time to go the safe route?
I wouldn't run it every single. Oh, they don't use up. I don't know why East using up a timeout, because he's going to need these timeouts in the 4th quarter.
Right. Seems a little bit early for that.
Way too early. Yeah. To answer your question, I would run the ball in this situation. Run it a couple more times, because they got Churchville, the Saints defense backpedaling right now. I wouldn't have called a timeout, because you're taking away from your momentum too. They really need to be focused on. They were successful. That was a quarterback draw that he ran, that he broke loose on and took it all the way down to the 2-yard line. But they really need to just push it in. Just get man on man. Everybody, you got your man, I got mine. Everybody block and get it in the end zone.
That's right. Yeah,
for a timeout.
They did the quarterback draw back to back, but obviously he was stopped on this pass 1st down, and now once again it'll be 2nd and goal, and we'll see what the East High staff had to say to their players.
Yeah, give it to DeJohn Johnson, number 28 there. See what he can do. See what DeJohn Johnson might be able to do with the ball.
And here's the snap and the handoff to Johnson. Up the middle, did he get in? Waiting on a signal.
Nope.
And we don't get one, so that'll bring up 3rd down. You must be reading their minds, George, as you were calling for that handoff to Johnson. And sure enough, they did give it to him, but he just came up a bit short.
See, that's the type of play I wouldn't even see. He's running the quarterback all the way to the sideline. I would have just had the 2 plays called. Run it. I'd give it to 28, 2 plays in a row. Because he's a big, burly, strapping fullback type body guy. Just give it to him and go behind 78 and 77. Those two 320-pound guard tackles.
Johnson in the backfield
Right
once
there,
again,
right
but
there. Go in
James
between
Simmons
them.
will take it himself.
He might have got in. I'm not. Oh, it's close.
Still no signal from either referee.
Oh my goodness, he didn't get in. Wow, that's a heck of a good man.
Wow.
That's a heck of a goal line stand by the Saints here.
Tell me about it. I don't know. It didn't. It looked like there was space for James Simmons to get in, but
Yeah.
for whatever reason, he was unable to find it. And now Johnson is in the backfield once again here, as this is now 4th and goal.
Give a quarterback sneak over behind the 2 big guys one more time. Oh, come on, fight force.
Oh, there's a flag, and
I think they forced.
Churchville players are clapping, so this is probably going to be a false start on East High.
Oh no, that's a big call there. That's what it is too. Yeah, that's a big call there.
Yep.
Now it's going to be 4th and 5. And now you got to roll out. Now you got to go with the pass play. Now roll out and see if you can beat them around that corner.
It doesn't look like East has any intention of kicking a field goal, no, as obviously James Simmons is still out there. Dealt Johnson in his backfield to his right, and he lines up from a shotgun. The snap, looking to his left, in the back of the end zone, and the
Pass
flags
interference.
are thrown.
That's pass interference on number 13, Corey Powell. He just basically blatantly tackled number 5, Jalen Holmes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pass was intended for Jalen Holmes, and then, as you mentioned, George, yes, Powell got a little bit ahead of himself and took Holmes out of the play and did not give him the opportunity to catch that ball, or didn't play the ball, I guess we should say.
And that was the same thing almost right on that Hail Mary play. He almost didn't play. I'm not sure who it was for the Saints, but they just laid the receiver out just before the ball got there.
The one on Malik McRae where that upset the coaches. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, they did almost the same thing. So here we go, 1st and goal. So they get first down, I think. No, it's not first down. Another timeout by East. Oh my gosh. This is their 2nd charge timeout, and that's way too many timeouts to use.
That's right. The sideline officials are still indicating 4th down, to go back to what you were saying earlier. But yeah, interesting decision by the East coaching staff to burn 2 timeouts this early in the second half.
Right. And it's wow, 5:24 left in the 3rd quarter, and they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be sorry they used these timeouts in the 4th quarter.
Obviously, a lot of strategy being discussed right now amongst the coaching staff and the players for East High, as this touchdown here would be crucial in getting themselves back into the game, as the players will make their way back to the line of scrimmage.
Okay, it's still 4th down. You only get the yards marked off. So half a distance to the goal in this situation, and it's still 4th down.
That's right. It's 4th and goal from the 3-yard line, as East High will do whatever they can to get into the end zone here. Here's the snap to James Simmons. The give to Brock. He was slipped on his own feet, and he goes down. So the Eagles will turn it over on downs, and Churchville will take over. Wow,
that's a big loss right there. Yeah, he slipped too, but he didn't really have much. Looked like they knew that play was coming because they were there. I think if James Simmons would have kept the ball and took Brock as the decoy, he might have been able to get in. He would have had to beat one guy one-on-one, and he might have been able to beat him and get in there.
A tricky play, probably could have done it, but obviously there's no telling here. But
yeah, but see, that's where a savvy quarterback, when he's about to give him the ball, if he could, a lot of times they can see out the corner of their eye how the defense is going, and they were all following number 8, and he could have just kept it and tried to make a play.
1st down and 10 for Churchville from the 6-yard line. And it doesn't look like they gained a whole lot. And Putney is making his way off or over to the sideline, probably just to discuss with the coaching staff.
They're going to run clock now.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's probably going to come every play and milk it down most of the time, every play.
Inside 5 minutes here in this third quarter, as this is going to be 2nd down and 9 for Churchville. Putney steps up and rolls out and completes a pass down the right wing side, and eventually taken down there is Don Bethune. Gain of a couple yards, but
we have an injury on the play. East player back in the end zone. Looked like he might have a cramp. Might be a cramp.
May have been when he was chasing after Putney, trying to bring him down.
And it's cold too. It's cold out here too. So if you're not, you gotta keep yourself loose and warmed and stretched out.
I wasn't able to catch the number on the East player who's down in the end zone, George. I'm not sure if you did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right though when you say he's it's a cramp.
I think it's a cramp.
Yeah, you can tell by the way they're attending to his leg that probably just a little bit cramped up. But the clock is stopped at 4:21 remaining in this third quarter, and it's still 23-6 in favor of Churchville-Chili. All of the scoring has occurred in the first half of this game. We're still awaiting any potential more offense in the second half. The East High Eagles were threatening not long ago, but just came up short. And now we are awaiting the East High injured player to be attended to properly before we can get the game continuing.
Yeah, yes indeed. He's in a lot of pain, young man.
You can see he's hitting his hand up along the ground there. That clearly indicating how much pain he's in.
They're working on him there. Teams are back on the field. We gotta drink some more water. Drink a little bit more water, he'll be all right.
Right.
Get that flu.
Gotta stay hydrated.
How you doing? Yeah, come on in. You sure? Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. I need to your team see if you sure.
We got a happy winner there from the raffle. We got players on one knee. They're waiting to hope the young man seems to be, they're working on him there. So I think
this is an opportunity, I guess, for, as you see, Churchville talking amongst themselves with some of the coaches. You know, it's almost like an added timeout for teams. So
it is.
Yeah.
And it's a cold too, so you gotta stay loose. I think you gotta keep stretching. If you're not in the game, or if you've been in the game, keep stretching and drinking plenty of fluids, because now you got this cold coming in. It's only like 62 degrees out.
Right.
Heavy wind. You got to be able to keep yourself loose. So if something happened, he was chasing the quarterback, and he planted, and he just went down. It was one of those untouched injuries there. There you go. Look like he's much better.
Now he's making his way to his feet and able to walk off on his own power.
Oh, that's a big young man too. So yeah, he got to get plenty of fluids.
So where we left off now, it'll be 3rd down and 4 for Churchville-Chili, as they did move the ball a little bit. And more importantly for them, they were running time off the clock. Obviously, they had to stop it because of the injury in that situation. But now their goal is to just keep the clock running. I mean, ideally, if they could get probably a 10-yard gain or something like that, and maybe set up an easier punt so that they could punt it into East territory at the very least, I think they're doing pretty well for themselves.
I agree. That's encroachment on the East defense. Number 2 came over the line. Andre Jenkins, a little bit eager as a linebacker. He was trying to come in on a blitz maybe, or fake a blitz, but he's got called for encroachment, 5-yard penalty.
That's right. So that'll give Churchville a first down, and that is not what East High could have been hoping for in the slightest amount. So
not at all.
They could have been a play away or 2 plays away from getting the ball back, and now it's going to be significantly more, as the hand up the middle to Mewborn may have picked up about a few.
And these young men are hitting out here tonight too. They popping. He was hit right at the line.
That'll bring up second down with 3:45 to go in this third quarter. Churchville-Chili playing the clock game now. They want that ball on the ground. They want it in their receiver's hands, obviously as you would in any other situation, but in this case specifically, and the easier way to do it is just keep it on the ground and let that clock run out.
Yeah, because you got nothing to play. Hey, just run the clock out. You're up 23. You're up by almost 17 points, and just run the clock.
There's the snap and handoff, but it's quickly stopped after a quick whistle, and Mewborn looks like he was a little bit upset with the East High defender Jesus Hernandez there, as Mewborn was wondering why he was still going after him when the whistle had shown, but those two have been separated.
Yeah, well, tempers flare. Hey.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Getting late in the game. 5-yard penalty moves it back. So key is East got to get a turnover or get them off so they can get the ball back. They need the ball. The Saints are happy with just running the clock. And that's what I would do now. Just go with a bunch of various running plays.
Second down and 8. Putney on the snap. He hands it off to Mewborn. Mewborn springs down the left side, and he picks up.
Did he fumble?
I don't believe so.
Oh no, the ball did come out.
Oh, he may have been down by contact, though.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. He hit the ground. The ground can't cause a fumble. Yeah, when he was tripped up and he hit the ground, the ball shot out.
But he definitely picked up that first down, and now he's keeping the clock running. And this is exactly what Churchville could have asked for, as that clock is continuously being eaten up as Mewborn gets the handoff once again and finding ways to gain extra yards, as he picked up about 6 or 7 on that one.
He sure did. Wow, that was another nice run.
The left side seems to be favoring DeJare Mewborn, as it seems like, especially the last couple of ones, he's always gone down the left, and he's been able to find space.
Yes, indeed.
2nd and 4, but he doesn't go anywhere on that one, as he got the quick handoff from Putney, but he was quickly approached by the defensive lineman.
Bobby Seawright.
Bobby Seawright coming up with that tackle. Thank you, George.
That's 320 pounds landed on you. That didn't feel too good. Nice tackle. That's what they got to do. But still, even if they have to punt, the Saints are coming out victorious in this drive because they done ran about 4 or 5 minutes off the clock.
For sure.
And that's what you want to do.
Putney back in the game for Churchville, as it will be 3rd down and 8.
Churchville just called a timeout.
What do you think is being discussed amongst the Churchville coaches and players right now, George? Why would a team call a timeout in a situation like that?
I think he wants to get this play call correctly and hopefully make the right play call to get to garner a first down. I guess he could see that everybody wasn't on the same page, and keep in mind he milked the clock all the way down to almost before they were called for delay of game.
Yeah.
So he benefited from that, but I think he wants to make sure they're on the same page.
I guess I should have specified from the get-go. I meant, why would you take a timeout here and not let the clock run? But I guess in that case, if he feels he can get a first down here and continuously, keep eating up that clock.
Correct.
It might be worth making sure everything's on straight here.
Right, because you don't want to go home on the bus with 3 timeouts thinking about what you could have, should have done with them.
That's right. As here's Putney in the backfield, he gets the snap. He throws to the right side, and it's complete. I believe it's going to be short of the first down,
short.
though. That was a nice catch, though, by Corey Powell, and a good pass by Putney to, at the very least, keep the clock running. But, yes, it will be 4th and about 1.5 for Churchville. 1:08 remaining in this third quarter. Time is running out on the East High Eagles in this season opening game for both teams. But barring anything going wrong for them, they are going to get the ball back here and will have an opportunity to at least tack on some extra points and make this a little bit closer. Here's the snap for the punt. It's fielded nicely there, and out of bounds it goes at about the 50, so that's probably where East High will take over. I say at about the 50 is where the ball went. The punt was taken by Ryan Rupp there. Remember, the last time Churchville went to punt, the ball ended up hitting Ryan directly in the face mask, almost like he wasn't ready for the snap, but this time he was.
Yeah, he was, and he got it off quickly, too. But good drive start right at midfield. It's a shame East couldn't punch it in on the last drive, because this would make this game quite interesting if they would have scored and now getting the ball back at their own 50. But let's see what they can do. Good drive start.
That's right. 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter, and it's East High with the ball now, looking to get back into this game. James Simmons from the shotgun. He steps back and looks to his right, and it's intercepted. He threw it over the middle, and it was picked off by Ian Allison, and Churchville will take over. What a play by Ian Allison. Read James Simmons the whole way, put his arms up there, and came down with the ball.
Very nice interception by him. He read his eyes and made a nice play.
For sure, and it looked like a pretty good throw by Simmons as far as, speed and velocity on the ball and whatnot, but obviously it was a little bit off target as Allison was able to step right up and pick that one off, and now Churchville will get the ball back and look to do some more damage. The snap on first, it's a quick handoff, and up the middle goes, I believe that's Tisdale, for a gain of about 8 yards. As Churchville has now encroached into the east end. And that will take us to the end of the third quarter here at East High. It's the Churchville-Chili Saints on top of the East High Eagles by a score of 23-6. My name is Matt Stathopoulos. I'm joined by George Radney. Thank you for joining us. We will be back with the fourth quarter after a brief few messages from our sponsors. Welcome back to East High, ladies and gentlemen, as we just get set for the fourth quarter here between the Churchville-Chili Saints and the East High Eagles. As a quick handoff on second down by Churchville to Mike Mule. He will be tackled for a loss, and that'll bring up third down as quite the battle was put on there by Mule and those defensive players.
Yes, indeed. That was a nice tackle. I tell you, East hasn't given up defensively. They played a very good game defensively. Just, once again, the errors, the special team, offense turnover, they just had the turnovers. When you have turnovers, usually whoever has more turnovers in the game, that's usually the losing team. And that is definitely going to bear out tonight.
It'll be 3rd and 3 for Churchville at the 47. Putney back with a handoff to Mewborn, and he's has enough for the first and a few more as he's brought down at about the 40.
Late flag comes in there. Might be a face mask, but if that Mewborn, he's tough. He doesn't want to go down. He's a scrappy, almost like a scat back. He makes a lot of moves, and then when you hit him, you gotta wrap him up because he's not gonna go down with no arm tackles.
He's only listed at 5'5", 155 pounds, but he runs pretty quick.
Yeah, he's like remind me of an alley cat. You don't want to tangle with him. He give you a tussle there. Yes, indeed.
He's had himself a good game for sure, and he just picks up another first down for Churchville right there to keep the ball in their possession and more opportunities for them to just run out the clock and secure this victory.
Oh, look like the penalty is going to be on the Saints. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so they're bringing it back here. It looks like the chains are.
Yeah, it was from the spot of the foul. Oh, a big one, too. Oh, wow. Where's he going? He's marching. Wait a minute. Is that 15 or?
There was a holding penalty, and there was an unsportsmanlike both against Church.
So we'll see here now.
I'm hearing that it was a holding penalty plus an unsportsmanlike conduct tacked on top. That's like 25 yards.
So some undisciplined attitude by Churchville costing them some yards there. As now we're listing it at 3rd and a long way. Let's just put it that way.
I thought the ref was going home with the football. I was like, where's he going? He's walking and walking. Yeah.
So 3rd down here for Churchville.
3rd and 25.
Putney with an empty backfield, and he will screen it across. He completes the pass, but they will not gain a whole lot as that's Churchville-Chili coming up with the catch.
All right, here we go. 4th down.
And I couldn't tell there. Yes, and now it'll be 4th down for Churchville. Some of the Churchville players and East players look like they were mouthing off to one another.
Oh, yeah. Tempers have flared. You got a lot of talk out there now because that's all they can do now is talk because the game look like it's both teams are starting to realize this game is almost pretty much settled. So now they're settling the score of contact out here on the field. So you got a lot of talking going on.
What some people don't realize, though, is with a physical game like football, and you see this in hockey and even in basketball in some cases, like it's natural because, you know, when you got guys hitting each other, you get fired up, your adrenaline is going. So it definitely is a skill and tough to control it sometimes, but you've always got to do your best in hopes that it doesn't cost your team. But here's 4th down for Churchville as Rupp will be brought in to punt it away.
Yes, indeed. Both teams' coaches are talking to their players, by the way. So
they're
trying to cool them out.
I would imagine so for sure. Rupp will kick it, and this one is way up there.
End over end.
And a fair catch was signaled for by Malik McCray, and then he ended up dropping it, but he was able to regain it afterwards. He only lost it for us like a split second or two. So.
Yeah, fortunately, he was able to pounce on it after he muffed that punt. There they go. Once again, they've had great field position all second half. They just aren't able to punch it in. And my son, Michael Radney, who's up here in the box helping out, pointing out things, he thought at the goal line, maybe they could have spread the team out more, spread it out, and went with a spread offense down at that goal line.
George, if you're the East coaching staff, you're getting beat 23-6 with less than 10 minutes left in the game. What do you tell your guys right now? Do you say we're playing for pride right now? Let's see how far we can get back into it.
I would say number 1, keep your composure. Number 2, execute. Execute our plays. This is gonna lead us for the rest of our season. We just starting our season.
Right, and here's the first down snap. It's James Simmons taking it himself. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but either way, he doesn't go anywhere, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, and it allows them to also feel good about themselves, too. You come out here, you execute some plays, you get some scores, get in here and score a couple of touchdowns or at least one more touchdown. They'll say, hey, look. And then when they look at the film on Monday or Tuesday of next week, they'll say, hey, look, we executed well. This is where we lost the game at on those turnovers.
That's right. And now it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 41. James Simmons in the shotgun. And he hands it off to his back, but a gain of about 3 or 4 there, but still a long ways to go.
Yeah, both these teams are playing solid defense against the run and pass. I give an A+ to both defensive teams, both teams on their defense tonight.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen it many times, even at the goal line when both teams had their chances. They did a great job stuffing them for at least, 2 or 3 of those plays in that series. But this will bring up 3rd down now for East. It's 3rd and 8. And what does James Simmons have for us here? Low snap, but he's got it. He steps back to throw, and it's just going to be incomplete. That was intended for Jalen Holmes.
Yeah, Jalen Holmes. He was covered. Very good defense there. The guy knocked the ball out of his hand. Good defensive stop there. 4th and 8. They're going to go for it. Let's see if they can come up with a play.
Right. I was just going to say, I'd imagine they're going to go for it here. They really don't have anything to lose at this point, so...
No.
So here's James Simmons from the shotgun on 4th and 8. 4 wide receivers. He steps back. He throws it way downfield, and he's got a man, and it's complete to Freddie Brock.
Nice pass. That's one of his best passes of the evening. Going into the wind, too. That was nice.
Yes, and obviously it takes a lot of guts to throw it up the middle like that in the way he lobbed it. But Freddie Brock was his man, and he was the one who came up with the catch, so he deserves his credit as well. But, yes, a great pass by James Simmons indeed.
And James Simmons didn't see it because he got pancaked. The guy put him right on his back, so he held it to the very last second, and that's what I mean. Actually, when they look at that and see that play on film on Tuesday, they'll say, man, look at that. Look what we can do. So let's build off of that.
That's right. As now this will be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. And it looks like the same play they're going with. Now they've got a man in motion. James Simmons will take it himself, but he's not going to come up with it. It was a play-action handoff, which looked like to Malik McCray, but then obviously James Simmons took it himself and didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. One thing is I'm trying to figure him out. He's not fleet of foot as a quarterback. He's serviceable. He's very serviceable, but he's not more what I would say a running quarterback. Look like he needs about 2 steps to get going.
Right.
Some quarterbacks, boom, man. They step on a dime and they're gone. Like Freddie Brock. Like he just took off.
Right.
You give a half a step to him, he might be gone.
2nd and 12 from the 27. As we are approaching 7 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter, as James Simmons sees the pressure coming, tries to get away. He's not going to, and he's brought down once again to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, we got some off the ball. We got some pushing and shoving going on. Seeing a lot of that going on.
I think it was James Simmons as one of the guys who was mouthing back off to the Churchville players.
Mm-hmm.
Tricky 3rd and 12 here. We saw East, as you've been mentioning, George, we saw them execute on the last drive or last series of downs like they would like to have been all game.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what they can come up with here on 3rd and 12.
Yeah, here we go. 3rd and 12. Clock was ticking. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, warning to the sideline. They must be coming onto the field, too close to the field for the Saints. He's giving a sideline warning. Threw a flag for that.
You can see the official going over to the Churchville side and waving them back, saying, back it up a little bit, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Now play will resume. James Simmons will get set for the snap. Good snap, and he's back to throw. Trying to get away, and he does not. He's brought down once again.
Yeah, he's taking too long. He's a little too indecisive. He got to make a decision. If you're going to run with it, run with it. If you're going to throw it away. Get rid of the ball. He's holding the ball too long.
It looked like he pump faked in the beginning there. He may have saw something, but then second-guessed himself rather quickly and then just decided to start going, but by that time it was way too late.
Yeah, because there's been constant pressure all night. He's got enough time to make a play, but he doesn't have enough time to say, boom, change it to another you get your check down from option 1 to option 2.
Right, right. And that will bring up 4th down. Do they have magic once again to convert on this one? As the backfield is empty. To his right he goes. Looks deep, and he's got him in. It's complete once again, and they do have that magic that we mentioned about earlier.
It is. He looked so good on 4th downs, man. That was a beautifully thrown pass, and the receiver was cutting across the middle.
I was trying to get a number on that guy, but the lights here, obviously, because it's dark now, are not helping us anymore. So forgive me, I was not able to see which receiver that was. But either way, East picks up another 1st down, and they keep this drive alive.
Yeah. Very well thrown pass. The receiver caught it with his hands and brought it in and took the hit. And he's throwing it over the middle, too, which is nice.
Right, yeah. And the fact that he was able to get that open is now 1st and 10 from inside the 10-yard line. It looks like the same play as just a minute ago, but the pressure's coming, and down goes James Simmons once again. So once again, that Churchville defense, George, they come right back at you and pressure your quarterback or running back, depending on the situation, and don't give them much space to breathe.
Yeah, his line's not giving them much help at all.
That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 from the 11-yard line. And the clock is running at this point. Churchville breathing comfortably with a 23-6 lead. Trying to contain East High, though, and not let them get back into this game. A low snap. James Simmons over the middle. It's complete. And inside the 5-yard line are the Eagles now. A nice quick play and a quick pass there by James Simmons to get that completion and ball spot inside the 5-yard line.
I think that was Malik McCray on that one, making the catch.
3rd and 5, the snap. James Simmons to the end zone, and it's incomplete. May have been intended for Jalen Holmes, and if that is the right guy that I'm seeing, then he looks like he's a little bit hurt now as the referees have blown their whistles to stop the clock, indicating an injury.
Yeah, it looked like he took a shot there when he was trying to hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's cold and it's physical. I'll tell you one thing, both teams have been laying the leather tonight. Both teams are going to be sore after this one.
That's what it takes, though, to get wins in this game. It's definitely tough, but...
And East has a tough one coming up with McQuaid next week.
That's right.
McQuaid just stomped all over Rush Henrietta today, 42-7. So the schedule doesn't get any easier for East next in the coming weeks.
Not an easy matchup for McQuaid against Rush Henrietta today, though, but, I mean, showing that they're able to put 42 points up against them, that really speaks volumes for what kind of roster they might have this season.
Exactly. Look like they're finally having – they've been down for quite a while. They haven't had a really good, dominating team in several years. So, hey, look like the Jets, what are they, the Black Knights, they call them?
Yeah.
Over there, McQuaid, look like they're on their way. They might be on their way. Aquinas barely lost to Victor last night. That was a very good game, 28-24. So Victor comes out the gate with the win. Aquinas gets the loss. And you knew somebody had to lose that one. And those two former Section 5 state champions. So you knew somebody was gonna come out of there with the loss. And Victor they love to run. They're another physical team.
Right.
So this Monroe County in the Catholic League, boy, it's tough. It's tough.
That's right.
A lot of tough teams.
The good thing is, though, the season is still young, so even if you don't come out on top in week 1, there's still plenty of room for improvement and plenty of time to get yourself back into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Wilson Wildcats, the Tiger Cats, Wilson is a tough team. They're rated right now as the best city Catholic League team right now. But after McQuaid, what they did today, maybe, hey, McQuaid is probably going to be getting raising some eyebrows on that as well.
That's right. Meanwhile, here with 4:05 to go, it's 4th and 5 for East. And once again, we'll see if James Simmons can get that 4th down magic that he's had the last 2 times. A throw to the end zone.
Did he drop it?
He did drop it. The referee signaling it's incomplete, and that'll be a turnover.
He had it right in his hands. Oh my gosh! When you see that on film on Tuesday, he's gonna be shaking his head on that one and I'm really impressed with James Simmons on his accuracy on 4th down. When it seems like when the pressure's on him the most, he makes his best throws.
If only every play could be 4th down,
Right.
I guess, for him. Maybe that gets some urgency.
That's what he has to do. Work on. That's what he has to work on.
Is it safe to say on that particular play, George, that it was all the receiver's fault? Was that throw perfect by James Simmons?
Oh,
okay.
It was perfect. And the receiver just bobbled it. And then he was hit by the defender, but he still had a chance to bring it down, and it just rolled out.
So Churchville will take over on their own 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, obviously. And here's a handoff in the run up the middle for a gain of a good amount of yards, maybe even, well, at the very least, very close to a 1st down. So
2 first downs should put this game away.
I would say so.
With 3:50 left, a couple first downs that I think will be done. Good effort, though. Good effort by East. Good effort by the Saints as well.
Oh, no, I believe East does have 1 timeout left.
Yeah,
but
that's it, just 1.
Yeah.
Can't stop the clock after that.
Right. So this will be, and they did give them the 1st down off
wow.
that run, so it's 1st and 10 from the 15 here for Churchville.
This is when you're feeling the loss is starting to set in on the East sideline. They were stopping that play earlier in the game.
Here's the snap and another handoff. Up the middle they go, and a gain of about 6 or 7, and the East coach was jumping up and down looking like he was upset at something.
Well, they stripped the ball from the runner.
Oh.
The East linebacker ended up with the ball, but they must be saying he was already down.
Oh, my apologies. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he did get stripped. The ball, East guy came out of the pile with the ball, but you don't know what happened in the pile up there.
Right.
So now it's just 2nd and 5 with 2:40 to go in the game. And we have a timeout here.
It looks like timeout called by, I didn't see which side he was referring to, but
Yeah, East a little bit upset about that call. They didn't get it.
this gives both coaches an opportunity to gather their players and talk to them and make sure that they're prepared for what's next. Obviously now, barring any super miracles, which I would like my chances in betting against, this is going to be the outcome of the game. But as we mentioned earlier, if you're East High and it's still very early in the season, they did some things well. I think you would agree to that, George, that there have been mistakes, but they have done some things well also in this game.
Oh, I think they have. They have. Like I said, when they look at the film, they're going to see a lot of good plays as well.
Teams are back out there ready to resume as it's now, they're going to call it 2nd and 4. Or sorry, 3rd and 4 as indicated by the sideline officials. And here's Putney from the snap. A handoff. Up the middle, and it's going to be a 1st down and then some. So
yeah, they're pushing. The Churchville-Chili Saints are putting their will on the East defense now, as we're late in the game, and they're pushing their way, forcing their way for 1st downs.
They sure are, and as you said a moment ago, George, you said 2 1st downs would be enough. So if they can maybe get 1 more, then that'll just about seal it.
Oh, yeah, they'll empty the stands. But, the fans are staying. They're not leaving either. So they're enjoying this game tonight.
It's the first game of the season. They waited a long time, so you might as well wait out the rest of this despite the score. And here's the snap and the handoff, but we've got a quick stoppage.
Legal procedure against the Saints.
Yeah, signaling for a false start, so that'll bring the ball back a few yards. 2:07 to go in this fourth quarter. You can see, having a look at the Churchville sideline, the players are mingling, high-fiving each other, getting excited about starting the season 1-0, but obviously there's not a lot of time to rest on that because
they got to get ready for next week as well.
You got it. Still a ways to go.
You got a holiday in here, so you don't get back until Tuesday.
That's right. 1st and 15. Putney steps back and hands it off, and a good gain here by the Saints, and that's going to be just short of the first down, a gain of about 14 on that rush.
Very nice run.
So that'll be 2nd and inches for the Saints as we are approaching just over a minute to play in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, 2nd down, hey, 3rd. Get the first down, as I was saying, Matt. Hey, that's all she wrote.
If they get it here, then that's exactly what you had predicted. But yeah, it's getting to the point where they will probably start taking a knee and running it down that way.
After they get the first down, because you still would be able to punt after third.
That's right.
Let's see what they're going to do.
Another handoff, and the handoff was to Tisdale, and he picks up the first down, and there it is.
He's a big bruising back, that Tisdale, man. They got some bruising running backs on this Saints team here. They're going to give the teams in Monroe County a challenge this year. They got themselves a squad. They got a senior. Whenever you see this many junior seniors together, they got themselves a squad.
That's right.
I think you'll see the kneel down now since Tisdale picked up the first down.
So 1st and 10 from the 46, and they will drop down for the knee.
They are. Wow, the Saints already lined up for the handshake. They ready. They'll get out here. I think Tisdale's one of my MVPs today. If you had to pick an MVP, who would you pick, Matt?
You know, I got to go with Tisdale as well, George. He's got two touchdowns tonight. Obviously, they were both very crucial, and he's made some big runs here, picking up first downs and helping Churchville seal it. But overall, a good team effort, though, you got to say.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Good team effort. It was definitely a team. And the coach, too. He knew his Jerron Ingram wasn't doing well to start. He made the adjustment. He changed quarterbacks. He went with 2 different quarterbacks, but then he went Ethan Putney is who he stayed with. And Ethan Putney didn't turn it over, and he made sure that ball was handed off to the various running backs.
That's right. As that takes us down to the conclusion of this game, it's the Churchville-Chili Saints officially coming out on top over East High by a score of 23-6. And like we said, George, obviously, something to be proud of if you're Churchville, something to maybe be disappointed of if you're East, but the good thing for both teams is it's only the first game of the season, and there's a lot of football left to be played.
Absolutely, a lot of football to be played. East got to regroup on Tuesday, look at the film, practice, and get ready for a McQuaid team that looks like they coming out. They're going to be coming here next weekend looking for the no, they're not the Orioles, they were East, but they're looking for East next Saturday afternoon.
Right. Well, once again, we'd like to thank everybody for joining us here tonight for the 2017 Section 5 season opener for both East High Eagles and Churchville-Chili Saints. For George Radney, George Radney and our entire crew here, I'm Matt Stathopoulos, and we hope you all have a great night.
Good night, everybody.